Right. All right. How does that look? Hello, everybody.
Right.
All
right. How does that look? Hello, everybody.
Okay, that's the sound is not right. Can you hear me, though? I think you can hear me on there. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? How about that? Can you see me? We're on a slight delay. I think there's always going to be a delay. There's a slight delay. I'm feeling all right. I've had 2 cups of coffee. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee. I shouldn't have this kind of coffee. I don't know why. I need this cup of coffee, but I wake up in the morning. It's like coffee. It's like food. Joodle says we can see you, can't feel you. Okay, I'm reaching out. Joodles, I'm reaching out. Can you see my hand? Can you see my hand? I think there's a delay. There's a delay. There it's coming. There it's coming. There's my hand. There's my hand. There it is. There it is right there. There it is. It's my hand. That's my hand. That's what my hands look like. That's what my hands look like. Can you see that? I don't know whether you can see that. I'm on a little bit of a time delay. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. That's what I used to start my show with. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. Anyway, everybody, watch out. I'm going to give Daddy Bannister a hug. I'll give you all a hug. Hey, Stuart, unfortunately, we can see you and we can hear you. Okay. The Jedster, Leanne. Can I just remind that don't touch him. Don't touch me. I'm touching you. You touch me. I can't touch you. One thing about this, if you're going to be in a cult, please act like a cult. Act like you're happy to see me, that you listen to everything that I'm saying, and that you care about everything. You can be upset at things that I say. You should be upset. You should say, Lewis, that really upsets me. That really upsets me. I lost 10 friends to AIDS, and that upset me, that you don't think that AIDS... I think that there were people dying, and that's a tragedy that people died. And some of those people were murdered, were actually murdered. Like in COVID. You remember in COVID, they kept on using the ventilators. They kept on drugging people so that they would sit still, so that they could put a tube down their throat to put oxygen in there. And they kept on doing it long after they realized that 97% of the people died. So they weren't even saving anybody. 3% would have lived anyway. Anyway, even if it did work. So it didn't work. So that's what I'm saying. Kerry is here. Hello, beautiful Kerry. Leanne, of course, Leanne. Mark, is that Mark J or the other Mark? Mark the Rosian, half Armenian guy. He's here, Joe. Hello, beautiful Joe. The ventilators they weren't very dodgy. They were 100% dodgy because it was just an irritation. It was an absolute irritation. Anyway, Kermit is here, and this is somebody new. Odd Champ meets the answer. That's the problem. That is the problem. Meat is an answer. It's not the entire answer, but it's a lot of the answer. What do you think? I think it's a lot of answer. I'm wearing a black shirt. I think I look thin. We'll talk about that. I see you. My second husband worked in Africa in the early 80s. I warned him about sleeping around and AIDS. He thought I was nuts. You want to know the truth? The truth is, how many... Yeah, you're nuts. I mean, not nuts. You shouldn't sleep with people too much. But there's lots of germs. And if you... What did they used to say about kissing? You're kissing and getting germs of somebody. You kiss too many people and you don't get well. You get more germs. Keith Bexley has a new boiler today. So that is really good news. He's really excited. What kind of boiler? Any brands you recommend? How much did it cost? Not that I care. I don't care. I'm living under the council. I live in a council. The boiler is handled by the council. The one thing about the council is it's so hot. No private home in Britain or anywhere in the world is as hot as it is right now. So that's what I say to you. So congratulations. Keith says, I see you, and I say that too. Let's go back to touching. I'm touching you people, the fans, the Lewis Schaffer. I don't know. You're not a fan. Whatever you are to me, whatever you are, I'm touching you. I may be stroking your hair like that. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm stroking your hair. I'm stroking your face. What a beautiful face. What a beautiful face you have. Maybe put my arms around you like that. I'm so lonely. I'm not really that lonely, but could be. I'm sort of lonely. I'm wearing an all black shirt. Let's look at how thin I look. Let's just, everybody stop what you're doing right now and just tell me that I'm wearing a black shirt. But look, can you see? Can you see how thin that is? Can you see how beautiful that is? Can you see? Now you're probably saying, Lewis, you must have lost weight from last night. I got a little bit of something there. Can you see that? A little bit of something. But no, I woke up this morning. I thought I was going to lose weight. I thought I was under 2,000 calories. But yesterday I didn't say what I did. I was very bad. I had two tasty, T-A-T-T-A-S-T-I, tasty samosas, plus 2 Soleros, but they were like fake Soleros. They only cost £1.29. Lewis, it's not hot there because of your boiler. It's because you are hot. See, that's like Claire. Let's give Claire a round of applause because Claire, she's thin, she's beautiful, and she compliments Louis Schaffer, which is what I need, which is why I'm doing this. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I look amazing. From this angle, there's something about this mirror. I should show you can you see the mirror over there? Can you see the mirror? There's the mirror right there. There's my hand. Right there, there's the mirror. There's the American flag. I've been meaning to look for the British flag because I love England and I love Britain. I would prefer to put up an English flag rather than a British flag, but we're all in this together. Mark J. Thank you, Mark J., for helping out the Louis Schaffer Fund. I really appreciate it. Thank everybody who has helped me out, which is a lot of people here. Would like you to do me a favor. The least you can do to help Louis Schaffer is press the like button. That's the thumbs up thing. I would appreciate that. Steve Cuff is here. We haven't seen Steve Cuff in a while, but so everybody welcome Steve Cuff. I know Judels is a huge Steve Cuff fan, and we all are. I actually believe that if you don't eat anything, healthy, Lewis. Yeah, you probably do believe that. A lot of people believe that. They think I'm going to die. Well, where is the illness? Where is the rash? Where is the psoriasis? Where is the bleeding gums? You know what? They tell you you're going to die and you're not dying. You think, well, maybe they're liars. Liars. That's the medical establishment. Liars. So Leanne is happy to have Steve Cuff back, and Claire Judels loves Steve Cuff, and Claire, Mark J, he's saying hello to Leanne. So that's man. You can get a British flag from a Temu or Alibaba. I have British flags. I should get one of those things. Yes. Thank you very much, Lucy. I appreciate that. I appreciate every time Lucy speaks to me because you don't know whether she's like, I've said something horrible about women. She thinks I'm a misogynist. So just the fact that she's talking to me is a blessing. Same thing you could say for Judels. Same thing. Joe, same thing. I think women don't like what I say a lot of the time. I'm not saying all women anyway. So here we go. But thank you very much, Lucy. I'll have to look it up. I should get a British flag. I'll tell you what I've got. Pick this up. Can you see this? I've got bunting. Everybody put stuff out before it becomes illegal because it's a Christian flag and it's upsetting people who aren't Christians. I'm a Jew. I'm putting it out. Can you see how amazing this thing is? It cost me £1 or something. I think it did. Like absolutely nothing. It's a gorgeous flag. Is it not a beautiful flag? Anyway, the inside health is more important than the outside, FM Ghost, who is 20 years old. How great is that? We got people who are 20 years old, so young. So beautiful and young. The point is, here is the point. The point is, you don't have beautiful outsides unless you have beautiful insides. That is the most important thing. So you could sit there and I'm going to put cream on me to make my skin. That doesn't make your skin good. What makes your skin good is meat, is animal fat, is being healthy. That's what makes it good. Lewis. That's what it does. MC Scott. Let's see. Hello, MC Scott. Yes, you're saying the mirror is new on the bingo card. Well, maybe we'll do it in the future. Because I look at myself every show. I look at from here. I look all right. From here, I'm not sure I look all right. And I got this thing here. So can you see this thing here? Can you see this thing? I mean, I want to tape my head up again. Where's my tape? Where's the tape? Where's the tape? Where is the tape? What do I have? Where is the tape? There's the tape. So tape myself up. I actually believe that you don't eat anything healthy. That's what Kerry says, and that is not true. That is not true. I don't know. What do you think is healthy? And you've got your Welsh flag. Well, let's go with the Welsh flag. You feel bad for the Welsh. They've been spending hundreds of years, if not thousands, fighting the British. And then all of a sudden, the last 20 years, they let in 1 billion Muslims. How do you think the Welsh feel? I don't think they feel that good. Lewis puts cream on himself in order to prevent chaffering, says Jetster. Yes, the chafing. My England flags don't come out properly in my last comment. Why not? Why didn't they come out properly? Your American flag, Old Glory, is fine. Whose broad stripes and bright stars? Yeah. That's right. Is that the words? That's right. Through the perilous fight. Well, we were fighting the British, you guys, but we were you guys. So it's not like we were an enemy force. It was the best thing in the world for America to become independent from Britain. It was the best thing. Otherwise, we would have been, one country. Radio frequency treatment, Lewis. Tighten skin. What is radio frequency treatment? I never even heard of that, but I can imagine. It's an electricity thing. Velikovsky. Thank you for mentioning Velikovsky, Lucy. Thank you for that. Velikovsky. Anyway, as I was saying, YouTube has censored the English flag. Has it really? Is it hard to get the English flag? Yeah, it's a political statement, the English flag. It's a political statement. It's saying we are fighting for our country, our rights, glory, whatever it is. We're fighting for that. Steve Cuff points out that if you get fat, your skin gets tightened. That's a bit true. That's a bit true. You see all the old pictures of me. But the truth is, I woke up this morning. I thought I had lost weight because yesterday I was 76.6. Has anybody lost weight today? Do you measure yourself today? Everybody measure themselves. Are you fat? How tall are you? Are you fat? What's your diet? Where do you live? These are questions we need to know. Anyway, I woke up this morning and I said to myself, I am going to be a bit thinner. That's what I thought. I thought I'm going to be a bit thinner. Even though I had 2 samosas, which are basically a sandwich, and probably not even that good. It's been sitting in the shop for like days, whatever it is, and 2 ice creams, which obviously are not exactly, that's a carb food. It's a carb food. So I woke up today and I weighed 77.2. 77. Can you picture that? Can you picture the number? And which is actually really good because I've been 77 or below for like 10 days. So I'm like getting good at this thing. I'm getting good. I think he got annoyed at all the anti-science. You're speaking to Claire. What did I say that was anti-science? I'm totally pro-science. I'm against the American and British medical establishment. Okay. Lud, who's a big fan of Louis Schaffer. I want to thank you, Lud. I had to stop drinking this Barocca. If I took a pee off a cliff, people might think it was an aurora borealis. Did it do that to you? It's probably not that good if your pee is coming out that color. Is that true? Reform came in 5th. Yeah, it's a totally immigrant community. I mean, my neighbor here they were Nigerian, and now they gave a house to the people who are from Spain but really grew up in Africa. And they're never here. I don't even know where they are. They gave them a house under the emergency housing thing. The house was bought by Southwark. It's a scam. They're lovely people. You don't want to see it. I'm not going to rat them out. But this is what Southwark does. They bought a house. They paid about £300,000 for this small flat. And not even that small, but they gave it to a woman under the emergency housing thing because she did not have a husband. And then the husband moved in. She did have a husband, but she said she didn't have a husband. And then she moved in. She was there for a couple of months. Something happened to the kid. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't see the kid anymore. And I don't see them anymore. I don't know what they're doing. They haven't seen anybody come and go. And they're right next door. Does that happen to you? Where you live with the council, they'll spend £300,000 to buy emergency housing to give to somebody from Africa. And they're probably in Africa right now. The weather's better. Probably. The Welsh national anthem is awesome. Well, they're good singers, the Welsh people. Lots of great performers. I think it's like that saying. I know why. I know why the, whatchamacallit sing. I know why the caged bird sings. Who sang that song? Alan Williams has a flag for Scotland. Can we get a flag for England? Can somebody fight for the English people, the descendants of Anglo-Saxons and Jutes, the Cornish, the Picts, the Kentish people, the Lancastrians, whatever it is, the people that make up England that were here. Anyway, thank you, Darklands. Darklands is a girl. Are you not a girl? That's what's so amazing. You got such a dark name, Darklands. It sounds like a male name, but you're a girl. You can have whatever name you want to have, Darklands. My name is Lewis. Nice to meet you. I'm going to shake your hand. I'm going to touch you. I'm going to touch you. I'm going to hold on to you. I'm going to give you a kiss on the cheek. I'm going to give you a kiss on the cheek. I'm going to hug you. I don't know if I'm good looking enough. From this angle, I think, that looks all right. From this angle, like looking at you right now, I don't think I'm good looking enough to do this. 5 years ago, I used to look like Jeffrey Epstein, and now I don't. I don't look like Jeffrey Epstein. I don't. Anyway, Blackadder is here. He's also he's 20 years old. That is like shocking for us, Lewis, The council has given the house next door to me a stoner mother that quasi-neglects her pets and sons. They are natives, but still pretty despicable. Yeah. I'm a bad person. I'm a really bad person. I'm against the council. I'm against giving stuff away, even though I'm the kind of person who might take it from the council and maybe needs it from the council. But I think the council, we've given them too much responsibility. Too much responsibility. Thank you, Lucy, for saying stop being creepy, Lewis. Yes, I'm sorry. I should stop being creepy. I'm a creepy person. I'm not even that creepy, but I'm a bit creepy. Left alone, I'm a bit creepy. I'm not really. I don't think I'm that creepy. I hope you don't think I'm that. Maybe I am creepy. Joodles. Jeffrey Epstein doesn't look like himself anymore either, Lewis, let alone you. No, he's dead. But he was very good looking, and I really liked Jeffrey Epstein in a way. He was very American Story, kind of like a retarded guy from Brooklyn. Just he wasn't that great. He got fired from jobs and something, and he figured out how to take advantage of people. And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to take advantage of you people. Remember, everybody, go to Discord after the show is over. Discord. Go to patreon.com or paypal.me and Lewis Schaffer. You could find me there and send me a couple of bucks. Anyway, Claire says, I missed out on a flat once. My daughter was 9 and we had so many structural dangers where we live. We waited 8 months and the council gave us a great flat. 2 weeks later, they gave it to a Gambian family. Yeah. But you want to know something, Claire? You're so beautiful. You don't deserve a flat either. The council shouldn't be giving out flats like that. I'm sorry. I know I should be loving to Claire because she's loving to me. But this whole business of the council building stuff, the worst people in the world are the councils. We have to take care of ourselves. They want to keep us dependent. Do they not? Do they not? Okay. Yeah, you want to have a Northern Irish flag, Joodles. What is the flag for Northern Ireland? That's a good question. I'm going to look it up myself and stop talking to you people while I look it up myself, because I ask you to do stuff for me. And even though I'm your cult leader, you never look it up. You never look it up. Ireland flag. Let's see what it looks like. It's like a red cross. It's a red cross. There is no official local flag to represent Northern Ireland. A budget Northern Ireland flag is like a red cross with a Jewish star on it, and the crown, and a red hand. The red hand. Here's a flag of Northern Ireland. Does anybody know anything about this stuff? Who could talk about the flag of Northern Ireland? That's like tragic for the Protestants there. That's tragic. They're losing their country right at the same time we're losing our country. We didn't defend their country. We should be defending their country. Okay, let's see. It was suggested by Lucy, who knows this stuff, and she could tell. She could tell there's something the matter with me. She knows. I've known Lucy longer than anyone here. So, I mean, I haven't really. No, that's not true. I mean, I've known her from Twitter and from GB News, but she says I start off at Harvey Weinstein, move on to Jeffrey Epstein. Next up is Jerry Sandusky. Do you guys know who Jerry Sandusky is? That's a really rare reference. Jerry Sandusky was like the coach of a kid's football team, and he just abused everybody, and they let him abuse people. You know, that's really bad. At least Jeffrey Epstein gave the... I don't want to say anything. Hello. That's my son number 2 is here. I'm going to close the door. Hold on a second. Hold on. He's mad at me a lot. I'm mad at him a lot. I'd be mad at me too. Anyway, so Jerry Sandusky was a guy in American Midwest, Pittsburgh or Michigan or whatever, and he would like run the youth football club, and Sandusky, and he would be bad to the kids, really bad, really creepy, really creepy. I mean, if you had to pick one, who would you pick? Would you pick Jeffrey Epstein? Or, I mean, at least with Harvey Weinstein, he'd give you a part in a film and he'd make you famous. Jeffrey Epstein will give you £200, $200. So which would you do, Lucy? Which is worse? If he keeps eating your Oreo ice cream, he'll look like Harvey Weinstein. Well, that is true. I used to look like Harvey Weinstein, and now I look like Jeffrey Epstein for a little bit, and then he died. These are people who died. They were all my friends, and they died. Yeah, Israel flag. That's my flag too. That's the flag of the Jews. They could say it's not the Jews, but you know they're the red hand of Ulster. Says John Miller is here. Hello, John. We don't see you enough. Thank you for coming. Always appreciated. The easiest way to get a house is to have kids. Well, that's the way it used to be, right? Says FM Ghost, who's 20 years old. So are you a good-looking 20 or are you an ugly-looking 20? Are you a girl 20 or a boy 20? I'm not even asking. Easiest way to get a house is to have kids. That's how the Somalian families with 8 kids get £1 million houses. That's exactly true. Horrible situation. Bad for English people. Let them stay in Somalia and make the place Somalia better. I've never been there. You know, so that's right. So I'm saying, Claire, don't complain about not being given a house by the council. Don't complain. I couldn't live there, though. Delivery time's far too long. Where is that? Anyway. Have you got 3 legs, Steve Cuff, or just well endowed? I don't know what that's in reference to. The liberal-dominated council here in Yeovil, out there, are always consulting, and then they ignore the feedback they get. Like you say, Lewis, we're too English, and just put up with it. Yeah, Because you want to be given something, because there's this like the rich people have stolen your stuff. That's the British ideology. The rich people, you know, the lords. Now you ain't no lord to me, whatever it is, that kind of thing. Let's not talk about either. What are we talking about either? Either what? Says Keith Bexley. What should we not talk about? We shouldn't talk about that. They should sell off every single council house. And the council should stop housing people. Let their community house people. Or put them in tents or something. You are way more gorgeous than any of those people, Lewis. Who are those people? Oh, the three of them. He'd do Weinstein for an Oscar. You do, John Miller says, I do Weinstein for the Oscar. Well, there's tons of these women who did not speak out when this thing was going on. And they kind of said, oh, no, it never happened to me. But meanwhile, it was true. It was true. I don't know who it was. And you don't want to say who it was. Most 20-year-olds don't know if they're a boy or a girl, Lewis. Yes, that's basically horrible, you know, the situation with that. I mean, the people have been destroyed. Socialism, communism have destroyed people. Let's work on our own homes. Let's stay married. Let's make sure men make a lot of money and make sure they give it to the women. Okay? And if the worst case scenario, let's have our own charities. But let's not even have charities and let people know that they're collecting charity. People think, I have a right to a house. I have a right to a council house because I've got a 9-year-old. No, you don't. Sorry, Claire. I love you, Claire. I love you. I love you. I love you, Claire. I love you, Claire. I shouldn't talk like this. My God, I'm getting more and more free with what I'm not free, but we're heading into these things. I'm just letting it all go. Letting it all go. I had to wear a hoodie today. It was just over 20 degrees, Maltese Phil. But windy, yeah. Well, it's, you know, yeah, it can get cool. It can get windy down there. I know that. I know it can get windy. It can get windy. Get windy, but that looks like it was a funny joke, which I'm going to read. I'm going to read if it's a funny joke. It's by, what's it? By, Now, when I criticize the council, that doesn't mean if the council offered me something, I wouldn't take it. Of course I would take it. Of course you're going to take it. But the attitude is ridiculous. Where's the money coming from? From what I know, and I don't even know this from here, but I just got a gut feeling this country is like close to bankrupt. Is it really a bad economic situation? I think it is. I think it's a very bad situation. And we're spending money on people who don't deserve it in this country, who don't deserve it. And what are they doing here? They don't deserve it. I also love you, Lewis. It was more complicated than I can write here, says Claire. You know what? Probably it was, but probably it's not. Probably it's like, let's get something from the council. Let the council worry about people. That's what the council's there for. It breaks down our family. The right to buy, not the right to buy, not the right to buy. The council has to sell, whether you want it or not. And let's say you're living in a council flat, and here's where I'm going to lose friends. I'm going to lose you. You guys are amazing for being here. Let's see how many people we have watching this show. Or I wouldn't call it a show, but it is a bit of a... Okay, here we go. 23 thumbs up. That's so great. And how many people watching? 41 watching. Oh my God, we're doing so great. We're really doing great. So I want to thank you for putting up with me. The point is, you shouldn't have a right to buy your flat. Your flat, if you're renting it, you should have a right to buy it. No, you shouldn't have a right to buy it. You have a right to buy it if you pay the price. Pay the price that the flat is worth. This is where I'm so horrible. I'm so horrible. How can you love me? How can you don't, I'm not saying you do love me. How can you love me? But how many people, like in my area here, how many people, how many council flats are in Civic? There's tens of thousands. Press like, everybody. Thank you, Kermit. Yeah, press like. And I know you don't want to press like because you're angry at me for what I'm saying. but the council should be forced to sell the flat to maybe a company that has the money, or maybe you, but not at a super discount. Why do the people, this is where I make the enemies. Why do people, just because you've lived in a flat and you've paid less than the market rate, let's say the flat's worth £1,000 a month, you're paying £200 a month, or 400. So you've gotten 500, maybe £500 of discount on it. And then the council says this flat is worth £200,000, but you can buy it for £100,000. So then you get another £100,000 off of it. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? It's basically somebody paid for that. Somebody paid for that. And now we're giving it away. Let's see. Yes, no questions asked. Where the money went, these councils had by media. Also, housing was scrapped for some people. Well, housing should be scrapped for everybody is what I'm saying. What is Lucy saying? Joodles. I had to edit it a bit to fit it in. What are you saying, Lucy? I don't know what Lucy is saying. Claire says, I adore you, no matter what your opinion is. I'm saying we got to throw you out in the street, Claire, and you'll have to move in on top of Louis Schaffer. That's what I'm saying. I'm against throwing people out in the street, but let's say the council came in and said, you rent the council flat, and we're losing money on the council flat, or we're just breaking even on the council flat. But that council flat's worth £200,000, and we want the £200,000. Right? We're going to sell it. We're going to sell it to the globalist institutions. And you have to continue to live there for a certain period of time. No. Okay. Maybe we should take a vote on this. I'm against council housing because I'm an American. This is what you're getting. You're getting an American. I mean, the worst parts of America came from because we instituted council housing down there in the village near where I used to live, and it was supposed to be. It's going to save everybody, and it councils. It doesn't save anybody. So everybody, we're doing really well. How many people can we all like this stream? Let's get up to 40 people. If we got 40 people here, it would be nice if 40 people liked it, I think. I think that would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, let's find out the criticism of what I'm saying. John Miller says, you can be on a council waiting list for 20 years. The process can be speeded up if you get on a dinghy. Well, I'm against that too. They're both bad, but even a council list, screw the council. Okay, Lucy comes in. The Red Hand of Ulster comes from the story of two chieftains who were racing to the shore to claim the land. The one who was behind cut off his hand and threw it ashore, so he touched the land first. That's a great story. He cut off his head and it was like bleeding. Is that true, though? I mean, you can never be sure if anything is true. This is really true. Okay, very true, Steve Cuff. Who can afford the lawyer's toilet? Says Lorna to Steve Cuff, which I jumped ahead, so I don't know. Thank you, Lucy. I started, and I didn't think it would all fit. Did I miss something that you said about the red hand? The red hand. It's basically very scary. Very, very scary, that red hand story. Most 20-year-olds don't know if they're boys or girls because I asked, are you a boy or a girl? That's true, Steve Cuff. The kids today are atrocious because they've been taught in public schools by communist, feminist, socialists, globalists, anti-men people, anti-British people. So that's what the problem is. The red hand, that is very educational. Okay. Okay, Keith Bexley says, no, we should have council housing. So Keith Bexley is for council housing. Okay. But we should not give it to people who moved here 3 months ago. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, they've got no grounds for it. They have no grounds for council housing. But should people live in a council house forever? Council houses used to be a way for normal people to get discount houses built by the community because there wasn't the profit motive involved. That was what a council house is. Now it's become social housing, which is different. Am I right about that, Keith Bexley? Social housing is, oh, these poor people, they're going to be homeless unless we give them a house. So that's the difference. Council houses built in the 30s and post-World War II fulfilled a great need. They were good houses, says Vatanai, with gardens and created great communities. The people there worked. It benefited the country. Those houses could have been built by other people. Look at America. They built housing in America, but they didn't build. British people have, like, I think at the time, I don't know what the latest numbers are, but 57%, I remember reading, of all the houses built after World War II for 50 years were council houses, were built by the council. They could have been built by private developers. If the freehand where people were allowed to make money and not pay high taxes, and this was a richer country, Vatanai. Am I wrong with that? If you think I'm an idiot, tell me I'm an idiot. I actually prefer to be told I am an idiot, okay, than be ignored by a factor of 10, okay? Claire said she would 100% move in on top of Louis Schaffer. There's less room than there used to be, but there's room. I see you. This is I see you, who's a woman, a beautiful woman. I see social housing is essential for a society. That's what makes this stream so amazing. Is you're speaking to a guy who thinks there's so much wrong with this country. And it's not because you're giving a social house, a house to a Somali family. That you have a house, that the council has a house, and they've got to give it away. So you better vote for Labor, because Labor's keeping down your rent. That's horrible. That's the police state. Oh, we love Ceausescu. You know who Ceausescu was, of course. Social housing isn't essential. There's lots of societies that have zero social housing. Zero owned by the state. Zero owned by the state. I had a friend who worked for the Sheffield Council on Housing. This is Maltese Phil. He's half from Malta. He lives in Malta now, I guess. A 16-year-old girl comes in demanding a 3-bedroom house in a nice area with a garage for her boyfriend's car. Yes, the chutzpah of people, but she's given it, so what, and the council may have one, and that was back in the day, that was, and now they don't want to give white people the house, which is also wrong. I agree with council house for British people in certain circumstances. That's what you agree with. Well, I do not, Darkness. I am against council housing. New York City has public housing developments operated by the New York City Housing Authority. Yes, they do. But the very first, find out where the very first public housing was built, FM Ghost. They built huge things. The guy who built them was named Robert Moses. Have you heard of that guy? He destroyed the city, or really hurt it a lot. Tore down all thousands of old buildings. I sold my council house last year. Council went mad when they found out. Well, if you bought it, you should be able to sell it. I don't know what they're thinking. FM Ghost, check that out. So that's what Ludd says. It is true. What is true? What is true, John Miller? The high school that I went to was called John L. Miller High School. Leanne says, let's go. Oh, look at this. I'm catching up. Keith Bexley says, you are right. You are right. We should have canceled the debate on who gets. The current system is perverse. No, council. I don't trust the government. I'm against it, Keith. It does matter a bit who lives there. Why should we give an 8-bedroom house to a Somali family who are not going to make this country richer? Who are not going to help our children? If they'd help our children. Yeah, after World War II, housing was built. Homes fit for heroes. I mean, homes built for heroes. People didn't want to defend. Maybe we shouldn't have been in the war. if you had to build homes for heroes. People should have said, we want to fight and die for our country, like Queen Elizabeth said. Not like you need to be rewarded. Oh, you fought, so we're going to reward. Oh, my God, I'm so bad. So bad. Can I tell you that I love you? Anyway, so that's what I think. You're right. Okay. Yes, people used to wash the doorsteps and the pavements outside their homes. Yeah, before it became social housing. So, yeah, and then they because they were given a house, it didn't matter to them because they thought to themselves, what's the difference between a big real estate developer owning my house and the council? But then over time, you realize the council is evil. 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 It's the long line of incredibly evil institutions in this country. Of course, council houses were built by private companies, Lewis. You think councils are all teams of builders? No, I'm saying they should be owned. They should be owned by private companies. They should be owned by you and me. They should be owned by everybody. They should be owned. Like take a look at Germany. They don't even have private housing, from what I can tell. I know that they were built by private companies, and some of those private companies got really rich from this because whatever. Still up and down with my health at the moment, Leanne says, but pushing on, my darling. Nothing will stop me. My brain is mushy when I'm like this. Always brightens my day, though. Thank you, Leanne. Leanne, stop eating carbs and lose weight. Yeah. So let's go. Stop eating carbs, lose weight, and you will be healthy. Stop eating toxic seed oils and you will be healthy. Stop drinking. I don't even know if you're drinking, but stop drinking and you will be healthy. This is where I'm so mean. I should be more loving. Oh, got you, Lorna. This is what Joe says. We have some flats made of God knows what in Portsmouth. Cash only. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. We need communities. I brought my council house off Ludd and then rented it out to the council. Yeah, the council shouldn't be renting stuff. It shouldn't be. People should. This country's too generous to people. It's generous to me. You know what I mean? And then the country will be broke. How did we get broke? How did we get broke? I brought my council. Right. That's what Alan Williams says. Bless you, Leanne. You're a fighter and a lovely lady. Yes, she is. We spent the day with Leanne, did we not, Claire? She is gorgeous and lovely. But you want to be healthy, you've got to stop eating carbs, eating toxic seed oils, alcohol, smoke cigarettes, and then then you won't need to complain. An older portion, this Blackadder, he's 20 years old, of my old secondary school was built in the mid-20th century. The halls were lined with all this nasty stuff and ended up demolishing it. Greedy planners just didn't care. Of course the planners don't care, because who are the planners? The planners are council people. They're employees of the government. They got nothing in the game. My flat had a bit of asbestos right here. I mean, you know what you do? You just leave it in place. You maybe paint over it. You tell people not to touch it. Is the council, Claire asks, very funny thing, more evil than carbs? No, carbs are way more evil. Carbs are, I'm going to have to say, what do you think about that? What do you say, Claire? The Ko-fi link in the description won't process my payment. Share a link so I can buy you a coffee. This is what Dullin says over there in Ireland. That's so nice. That is really nice. That is really nice. Let's where is the Ko-fi thing? I'll see if I can put the Ko-fi thing up. KOF/I. Okay. Ko-fi.com/Lewis Schaffer. There it is right there. It should be the answer. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. And then we go over to here. We go to there. I've got to do this thing. I got to do it on YouTube. Sorry for this. I've got to do it on YouTube. And let's see how we're doing on the 31 thumbs up. That's brilliant. Let's see, is that a correct number? 31. Everybody give a thumb. 44. We're doing so well. We're doing so well, considering what I'm saying is probably horrific for you people to hear. Okay, the old council houses were well maintained, Vatanai, by responsible councils when they were well run. It started going downhill in the 80s because people lost pride in working properly. Social decay. Well, that's true. And you're going to see it in the council because the councils are the first to go. Are they not the first to go? You bet they're the first to go. Claire says, I say carbs are way more evil. Yeah, because it makes people fat and ugly. I'd rather live in a police state than a place where people are ugly. You know, I want them to be beautiful. That's the most important thing, that we're healthy and we're beautiful. Don't you agree? Everybody who doesn't agree with me. Anyway, so I put the Ko-fi link there, Dylan. See if that works. I used to watch my doorstep. This is what Lorna says. People used to do that. Then they let in 1 million foreigners who don't love it. They don't come from a place where they used to wash their doorstep. Okay, so they don't. So I've skipped ahead. I've been snooping about, watching interesting stuff on YouTube. We are getting taken over. By whom? A lot of houses that were of bad quality, made from cheap materials, rather like the RAAC concrete that is suddenly failing now. It was a quick stopgap that was never replaced. Because that was the problem with this country. This country, instead of investing in factories and teaching people and in making individuals rich, they gave people social housing. Waste of... Okay. I do live in a council house, but which I paid for. Yes, I live in this whole block of flats is council. It's 18, maybe, I don't know, it's like 30% individually owned. Individually owned. And because it's 30% individually owned, we stop the council from building on our parkland, our green space. We stop them from building on the what do you call the things? The place where they store the cars, the garages. Yes, Lucy. Yes. I didn't get the joke earlier. What is the joke that I missed? Okay. So we're learning something about you guys. What are we learning? We are learning that you guys love council houses. You want to return to council houses. You want to return to nicely kept council houses. You want to return to nice English, Anglo-Saxon, British people, the Jutes, the Cornish, the Irish getting council houses. And I say you got to break free. It's like saying we love the king. Why do you love the king? Because the last queen was all right. And King George, had his house bombed during World War II. That's why we like it. But it's not working right now. Keith Bexley, 100% correct. But Lewis is immune from reason on some subjects. Lewis isn't horrible. He's stubborn. Yeah, I have an ideology. My own son, did you hear what he said about me? Not this one who's here. The producer's son. He said that I was principled. I was principled. I'm just saying what's best for this country. This country would be a much better place with zero council housing. Housing associations are a con. That's another con. They are in bed with the councils and get government grants. And those guys running it are rich. They're all rich and it's all giveaways. Totally true, says Steve Cuff. I'm with you on this. The king is World Economic Forum, Claire says, and a globalist, and personally, I do not like him. That's why I love Claire. Not why I love Claire, because I love you. Even if you said, I love the king, I'd say I love you too. I think most British, says Keith Bexley, do not believe in social things like housing and healthcare. But it is being abused and people are jumping on the queue. And the queue thing is a red line for us. What does that mean? That's queue of how long it takes to get a flat? I'm so lost. I hate it when he skips up and down the chat. Yeah, because I've fallen behind. I'm sorry about that, Joodles. I'm sorry. Well, send me, write a message. Say don't skip. I appreciate you doing this. Leanne, I've lost 4.5 stones. That's really brilliant. 4 stone is 28, is 56 pounds. So, Leanne, beautiful. Well, you are a beautiful girl. And it's so hard to lose weight. So let's every one of us give Leanne a big round of applause for losing the weight. They're losing a weight. At least carbs are delicious, Claire. Councils don't even give you a moment on the lips. For your fat hips, says Wormellian. Very, very funny. My local council have tried to remove memorials in the past. Yes, they're evil, and they're being taken over by Muslims and Somalis and people who are not from this country. Sorry, that's just the way it is. You can't expect them to be English people. They just arrived. Am I English? I've been here 25 years. I love the country, but I'm not English. You know, so imagine if I hated, I do hate you, but I don't hate you. It was after World War II that the concept, homes fit for heroes. Yes. That's how they get you. They think, I'm a hero. You think to yourself, I'm a hero. I want a nice home. I want a nice home. Judel says, it happens to us eventually, I see you. It's whether or not you can push on through if you bail out. What is that? Bail out on what? I missed what you're saying. Thatcher made it possible to buy your council house. She didn't go far enough. They should have said to every single council, you are not permitted to own housing. And everyone would have to sell. And imagine all those homes going on the market. And you'd be able to buy a home, be dirt cheap. There'd be somebody living there. And you'd have to wait for them to die. And if they didn't die, you might have to do something. I mean, that's what they did. A friend of mine, Chinese Elvis, told me the story about how they used to give cash for people who were going to die. Told me a really interesting story, Chinese Elvis, where, so if the guy owned a house, let's say the house is £100,000. Let's say, I don't know what you guys are up. Let's say the house was £1 million, but there's a guy living there. He doesn't want to move. He'd say, okay, I'll sell my house for £900,000 today. You give me £900,000. And then the company would wait for that guy to die. And he'd have basically free rent until the guy dies. Let's say he's 80 years old, and they'd have to wait. But what happens if the guy doesn't die? Don't be a flabby fatty. Go carb free. Thank you, Lorna. Should that be the motto? I'm going to write that down. Should that be the motto of Louis Schaffer? I'm going to write it down. Don't be a flabby fatty. Go carb free. Yes. 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 I say yes. I say yes to you. Julian is here. Old council houses, Vatanai says, were well maintained by responsible councils when they were run. It started going down. Yeah, I think I read that already, but that's exactly what people says. I'm jumping ahead. Lenny Henry needs to learn his history. The Cornish sailors were captured into slavery. Slavery is still alive and kicking in Africa. Yes, it is. Have you ever seen what an Algerian looks like? Blue eyes, and they can be very light because they were English people who were enslaved. We want our English people back. Kermit, can you not make it icing? Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to skip ahead. I've done a bad job. This is the worst show ever. I've made you angry, and I've lost control of the stream. If you want me, that didn't work. It didn't work. Okay. You're saying this is not working. Is this not working? What's going on here? Is this not working? Yeah, housing prices are great. Well, why are they so bad? Because some people are paying next to nothing living in a council house, and it's owned by the council. Don't be a flabby fatty. Please, you people, don't be a flabby fatty. Be thin and beautiful. Be thin and beautiful. And Lewis will love you. I will love you. I will love you. I will love you. I love you. I love you. Oh my God, there's 46 people watching this crazy cocktail stream. It's really amazing. 31 people are liking it. Can everybody press the like button? We got 40. That means there are 15 of you. 32. That means there are 15 of you who haven't liked this thing. Louis Schaffer rants about council houses. And now the council house people are in my block of flats putting in new kitchens in people who are paying so little rent. I remember speaking to my lovely neighbor, Mr. Nigerian man, Mr. Elashu, and he was saying that his rent was high. I said, how much is your rent a week? And I think it was like £19 a week. I mean, come on. And now they bought that flat and they gave it to an African Spanish family, and they are not even living in the place. So, I mean, I'm not ratting on them. I'm not. All hell is broken loose, D.D. Pleckton, because I am speaking against council houses. I'm against what they're doing. They're doing major works in my building. Major works. They're putting in new kitchens in council, which, I mean, obviously they need new kitchens, but is the council making money off of the council flats? No, they're not. If Lewis doesn't get a gig suit, he may need a council flat. That's true. I see you. Yes, I see you. Yes, that's true. I don't want to admit that to you. I don't want to admit that. I am like, yeah, I want you to believe that I'm super successful. Lewis, the council leaders are either Somali, Bangladeshi, or Pakistani. Yeah, they're not, whatever. I mean, they're not bad people. And I don't want to hear that they're bad people. They're not bad people, but, Anyway, the amount of white Algerians are products of binary slaves being in harems can literally be counted on a single hand. All Europeans in Algiers left after the French decided to release them. That is not true. I'm talking about people who came a couple of hundred years before this Blackadder in Algeria. I saw the movie. It was horrible. No, that's not the right movie. Mark J. says, because we have had consecutive governments whittling away work opportunities for Brits while saying they are doing good by us, then we had this Labour government who did it in turbo mode. Yes, very, very bad. Labour, which are basically they're fake Tories, and then the Labour Party. No, the Tories are fake Labour. Mort in Latin equals death. Gage in Latin, debt security. So basically in debt until you're dead. Yeah, it's basically a forced savings plan. But you can be just as rich if you do not own a house, I think. I'm property rich and cash poor, this Darkland says. So that's no good either. Yeah, you're stuck in your house. We are not supporting the current ideology of social housing. It's run really badly for the benefit of managers. There is a role for the old-style council house. No, there is not, because we don't have old-style people living there. And we've already moved on. That's the thing about the council, is that they start off great and then it goes horribly. They put in a shop for discount food and then it just goes bad. This is what Vant and so I disagree with you. I disagree. I know what you're talking about, Lewis. My people were subjected to them. In a similar fashion, all of Western Turkey is descended from white slaves. But in the bigger picture, the amount is minute. The bigger picture of what? The bigger picture of population? I mean, Turkey used to be Christian, and then they were taken over by the Islamists. And Greece is going to be taken over by the Islamists, and Italy, and us here in this country. Enjoy Islamism. Enjoy. Don't be a flabby fatty. Go carb free. That's what you got to say, Leanne. Go carb free. It's really hard to do because we're used to eating things with carbs. I eat things with carbs, but I weigh 77.2 kilograms. Yesterday, I wore 70 or weighed 76 points, and I look beautiful, as you do. And I've actually met Leanne. And I know, and I said, my God, I think I said this to you, Leanne. I know I said it to you. Of course I said it to you. I said, I wasn't expecting you to be as pretty as you are. You don't expect people to be pretty. You got to love them for what they are. This is the problem with socialism. I believe if you work harder, you deserve better. It's my cow. Not everybody is cow. It's my cow. As usual, Donna doesn't have the punctuation, so I don't understand the sentence. Anyway, there is. I'm not a socialist, but there needs to be some public housing. Say it over and over. There needs to be some. There needs to be zero public housing. Debt is slavery. Of a kind, it is. But if you think something's going to go up in value, okay, then take out the debt. The problem is you're actually fighting against a bank that's a bit smarter than we are. So there you go. PayPal worked. Enjoy your coffee. Thank you very much, Dalan. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm surprised that Ko-fi doesn't work. Maybe I have to do something about Ko-fi. What do you think, Kermit? Do I have to do something about Ko-fi? Ko-fi working? I'm writing this down, and I'll never look at it again. You can go to PayPal. You can go to Patreon, basically. Joodles is laughing at what Jed said. What did Jed say? Lewis would never share a cow. That actually is funny. If you come to my house, I'll make you steak. I mean, it's not quite steak. It's brisket. So it's not like a ribeye, whatever. It's the worst cut of meat, but it is meat, and it does taste exactly the same. It just doesn't have the fat in it. Yeah, there you go. Send yourself £1 and see Louis Schaffer. Maybe you could do that. You'll be on my list of people who I like, not who I like, who like me. And I don't care, I like to be liked. Don't we all like to be liked? Anyway, I think we like to be liked. Okay, so how are we doing with the viewers? Let's go check the viewers. There are 44 people watching. That is amazing. That is amazing. I think we're doing really well. So, are we talking about Islamic slavery of British people? Are we going to talk about that? Because I used to know something about that. Islamic slavery. Remember, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Where was Tripoli? According to that song, the Marine Corps anthem. It was in Libya because they were capturing people. That's what people used to do. Okay. Let's see. So I'm not a socialist. You got me down on record as not a socialist. I'm social. Maybe I'm not a socialist as I used to be. Okay. Then what did okay, we got that already. We need some social housing. You keep on telling yourself that, and that's how they've got you by the cojones. Yes, by population. Turkey was Christian because we lived there, but yeah, quite grim. What happened after antiquity, Blackadder? Yes, it was really grim, but we are the bad guys. We are the bad guys. Okay? Leanne says thank you, which is lovely. And Lud says debt is slavery. Okay, let's get back on track. Darklands, I know I own my house, no mortgage. It needs a fair bit of work, but can't afford to. Well, we also need to move. Where do you live now? We need to be able to get up on our bicycle and move to another town. Am I allowed to say get on your bicycle? That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. Fun fact, there are 3 Tripolis, one in Greece, Lebanon, and Libya. What does Tripolis mean, probably? I've never looked at that before. But what is tripolis? What is a polis? I know what it means, Lewis. Is there anything you have a nuanced central position on? No, because you guys have a radical position on these things. This country is communistic when it comes to social housing. It's communistic when it comes to the horrible NHS. So what can you say? Oh, I've got a more medium thing. No, it has to go. It's a good question, Lucy. What do you think? What do you think? The Barbary pirates were Muslims, yes. The ones who enslaved Cornish sailors, says Lorna Hutchinson. They were. But they weren't taught. We forgot how dangerous they were. They are. They're not our friends. They hate this. I shouldn't be talking like this. Is that what I'm doing? I don't know what he was. I don't know. Thank you very much. I just got a message. Thank you. That's very U.S. attitude, Lewis. People in the U.S. tend to move more often as houses are not built to last. That's not true. They're not built to last. A lot of the houses here are not built to last either. I'm in a council house built in you know what I mean? All the cracks. Don't say that. In the UK, buy a house for life. Their roof may last 100 years. You know what? I don't believe that. Tripoli is Greek. It means 3 cities. I appreciate that. Let's thank Joodles for doing the work. She did the work. Tripoli means 3 cities. Okay, so maybe there were three towns right there, moving to the 3 cities, like the 3 cities of I forget what that is in Iowa and in Chicago, and what 3 cities? I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm not gonna ask you to look this up, but 3 cities, Iowa. Okay. Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, and Davenport. Those are the 3 cities. This is Quad Cities here. That's the Quad Cities, 3 largest cities. Quad City, 3 cities, Illinois. I'm looking this up, people. Yeah, Davenport, Moline, and Rock Island, Illinois. I mean, I'd like to live out there. I wouldn't like to live out there. It's all flat. The wintertime is horrific, probably. Anyway, my daughter, this is what Vatnai says, and I listen to Vatnai, even though he's disagreeing with me. My daughter and her partner worked hard as they were able to support themselves and my grandson. They cannot afford a suitable house because of failures in policies. They should sleep rough then. They should fight. We should all fight against you shouldn't say, let's keep the policies going and maybe we'll luck out by them. The policy failures is we're giving the government, we're giving the authorities. How much are we giving them? How much are we giving them in taxes? And how unrich are the English people because of those policies? America has gained 80% of the wealth, 80% wealth increase in the past 15 years. How much has Britain gained? 0. My friend told me this. I don't know if it's true, but it sounds true. Yes. So should she sleep rough? I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Lucy wants a nuanced response to this. We should give away the money. You give away the money, people will have a lot more money, and no one's going to sleep rough. There's enough houses in this country. Also, ending divorce. I've also spoke about that. My ex-boyfriend wanted me to try poly. Very dirty, Lucy. Very dirty. She's a nice girl from Northern Ireland, and she's dirty here. It is true, most houses in the U.S. are built with timber, and the roofs are made from coated cardboard shingles. My house was built in 1860, and my folks' house was built in 1710. I've done the research. But you go to their houses that, in New England and even in New York that are like 300 years old. They're not as bad as it is. John Miller, Gaddafi was the richest man who ever lived. I don't think that that's true. And he was a socialist, Gaddafi. You mean Libya Gaddafi. Joodles, are you trying to learn it, Greek? Okay, let's see what else we say. Very nice, Kermit. Keith loves local history. People are assumed the houses were weak because they're made of wood, but it's treated and specifically crafted to withstand earthquakes. No, joke. There's a reason why the houses are like that. There are lots of strong houses. The house that I grew up in was built in 1940. Okay, it's not exactly ancient. Not exactly. On a similar note, when I went to Athens this summer, I pretended to be a Briton. It was quite fun. Yeah. Were they nice to you or not nice to you? Dubes looks beautiful tonight. She is beautiful in real life. Although it does look slightly like someone has come all over her top. Well, we're not watching that. I'm not watching that. California, I think it was. You went to California. It used to be brick-style houses until earthquakes. Then they switched to wood houses. Yeah, and the houses don't fall down. Certainly, and YouTube's character limit doesn't really help, says Blackadder. Okay, we're talking about California now. We're talking about California. Okay, so what are we saying? Okay, I'm saying if there's, you know what happened like in this country? The council was given money to build housing in the coal mining areas. I've been up there, up to Washington and Sunderland and Newcastle. They were building houses there to keep the people living in their town. They didn't have a job because they were fired from the coal mines because the coal mines were bought by the government, whatever they were. Okay? And that's not good. Isn't that good? I love being in Spain for that exact reason, says Joodles. People chatting, thinking I don't know what they're saying. And then you reply in Spanish and watch their jaws. Yeah, you can hear what people are thinking. That's actually quite funny. That's quite funny. Like the Islamists, they don't know that we know what they're thinking. And we don't. And you don't know. That's why I have to tell you. They hate us. They want whatever it is. Okay, Alan. Okay. I wish it was bilingual, says Leanne. This is really good. Okay, we're going to end the show in 5. We're not going to end the show. I didn't say that. Does anybody have anything else they want to say in the last few minutes of this show? Okay, Judith, Leanne, anybody want to say something that I've overlooked? Maybe a joke? MC Scott's okay. What do you do when an old girlfriend asks you, Lewis, or maybe your ex-wife or somebody you know, asks you to send her a video of her doing an embarrassing thing, dressed, but very embarrassing. Maybe she's like snoring on the bed. It's like passed out. Like the way you see it in the movies. You know, when you see people in the movies and because they've been drinking and they're out like this, and they're snoring. People like that. Can you picture that? And they send you a message. Do you want to be known as somebody who takes pictures like that? That's my question. Non-stick Nick is here. We've had this show. Can I tell you something? I don't know if you've enjoyed it, but this has been one of the best shows for me. We got 35 people liking it. Can you all just look into your souls and think, did I press the like? It's just a thumbs up. It's absolutely free to do. Why do I have to beg you people? I'm begging you just to press a button. I'm asking you, did you press it, Steve Cuff, Blackadder, Mark J., Alan William? Did you press it? Did you subscribe? You probably did. But I see you, Lorna, Vatanai, Darklands, beautiful, beautiful Darklands. Did you do it? You can do that for me. So my question, which I'm asking you, can you answer my question? What do you do when somebody she's a girl, she's a young woman, and she's splayed out, and she sends you a message saying, Lewis, do you have the video of me doing that? And I remember I took the video of her, and should I have showed her the video? She didn't know I was taking this video of her laid out like this. Am I going to let the world know that if you come to Louis, if Louis Schaffer catches you, is that the word splayed out? Splayed out? Thank you, Steve Cuff. I appreciate that. Mark the Rosian, like, if should I have told her at the time? Should I have said, you were so drunk last night and you splayed out. I took a picture, this picture of you, and she was like so snoring. Now should I have told her, number one? Or number two, should I send her the video? She now wants me to send it to her, and people are going to see that I'm a spread eagle. Is that what it is? Is that what splayed out means? Non-stick Nick. Yeah. Thank you, Lorna, for pressing the like button. Have you pressed the like button, non-stick Nick? I can think of worse photos you've taken. Yeah. I don't usually take secret photos. I don't usually. Willkommen, Sie ich bin besten Zoom. This is Judels. Bahnhof bitte. It's not useful. So what are you saying? Where is the train station? I feel like I violated having to learn all that. Yes, you should tell her. I did. Okay, I should tell her. And should I send the video? Okay. Yeah. Okay, let us check it over, Lewis. Then we can decide. You're making a joke. Legs akimbo. I think legs akimbo are different. Legs akimbo is like your legs are in the air like that. She was like on the bed. Just, maybe her legs were over the side of a bed. She was like that. She was wearing her clothes. She was not naked. It's when you do something to be underhand, then it's an issue. Well, I just thought it was so funny, and I wanted to show her how it was funny. It wasn't horrible. I didn't think it was horrible. The fact that I felt comfortable enough that I thought I could take it, and I did tell her immediately when she woke up, and she laughed and laughed and laughed, and that's why she's asking me for the video. Just be careful not to send her the upskirting ones. Yeah. Well, I sent somebody a picture of my... I'm not going to say what I sent a picture of it. Legs Akimbo is a theater group from the League of Gentlemen. Yeah, Legs Akimbo. Akimbo is where your legs are way up in the air. They're all the way up in the air. It's not horrible, Lewis, says Leanne. That's what I was getting at. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's horrible. Thank you. And Joe says, Bahnhof is a station from distant memory. Well, Bahnhof means the house of the Bahn, which is Bahn is the railroad. So it means the house of the Bahn. I will. I'm going to send it. I'm not delaying. We're doing a show right now. You know what? Let me take a break. I'm not taking a break. I'll tell her right now. I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will on my stream right now. So can't. How about that? I will. Of course I will. Am I right? Rose said something, interesting about you on her show. What did she say? Was it a nice thing? What did she say? I'm quite fond of Rose. I mean, really fond of Rose. When you go to a foreign country, if they don't understand me, when I go, this is what Led says, I just say it again louder and slower. Yeah, they should be speaking English. We won the war. Rose has a show. She has a show tonight. So maybe I think her show is on at 7. What time is her show on? She has a show on Resonance FM. Maybe let me check when her show is on. ResonanceFM.com. It's on at 7 o'clock, so we'll have time to watch it. I'm going to put the thing on. You can watch it. You can see what she says about me. I mean, if she says something nice, that's at 7 p.m., yes. She says it at 7 p.m. Here we go. I'm posting it on the chat. That's the show. That is the show. That's the show. So we're going to end the show at 6:30, and you'll have 30 minutes to go get something to eat and then to turn on Rose's show. And also Lisa, who used to be my friend, but now that I've turned into a right-wing fascist, you can't repeat it here. Why can't you repeat it here, Lucy? All right, you'll have to tell me in another method. Who are annoying, to be honest? The three of these girls? Blanche? Is Lisa that way? Nevertheless, she persisted, Kerry. That's the name of the show on Resonance. I sent the link below, above. Can you see the link right there? I mean, maybe there's a delay, so it might be a delay in the stream or something like that. It's a feminist show. That's why Lucy likes it. I've had many feminist friends. Had girlfriends. I was a feminist too. Not anymore, but I was a feminist. On my way to a bus stop a decade ago, two French guys pulled up in a car and asked me for directions in France. I just pointed ahead and said in English, "I speak English." Yeah, well, they should have asked. Was this in France or was that here? Was that here in Mark J? Mark J has been a generous contributor to the Louis Schaffer stream. So thank you. You know what? Forget it. Not giving it to me. Thank you, Mark J, for keeping this stream going. I think this show has been one of the best shows we've done. Probably not for your ears, but for my ears. I got to talk about Council Flats, honestly, and I've got to speak about the upcoming threat to the country, and I've got to criticize you people in a way, telling you do not rely on council housing. Okay. But there you go. There you go. I mean, so we're going to do that. Thank you, Steve Cuff, for coming. Every time you cuff, you don't come every day, but I appreciate seeing you. Kerry, it's good to see you back. You're not a feminist, Lewis. You just like women. I like women. I like women. And I like a lot of things that women don't do. It's like, do you like days? I say, I like days, but I don't like nights. Does that make me hate? Whatever. I don't know what I was thinking here. Do you need it now? Hold on a second. She says, no worries. Do you need it now? So I hope she's not mad at me because I didn't end the stream 5 minutes early to do it right now. Should I have done that? This happens quite a lot. Oh, you don't really love me enough. You're not dropping. I didn't know I needed to drop everything. This is a very womanly thing. Yes, PayPal will keep this stream going. Let's keep this stream going. YouTube is not, Kermit is such a support, is not helping. There's no money. There's no ads because there's no, are there ads? There should be no ads because there's no, and I'm actually happy about that there are no ads because it's a bit of a torture. Can you go to Discord? The Kermit has the thing. Can you go there? No, don't listen. No, it's like being polite. It's like why I was so mad at the Chinese Elvis, because I told Liz, yes, come in on Friday. And then when Elvis came in, I told Elvis, you can't come in because I had already promised her. I'm sorry. And I really felt bad. But you got to go with the person you promised first. He was doing hand gestures, Steve. Oh, that's the Mark J story. Okay, so there you go. So thank you very much. When I set up my council house building company, I will sponsor Lewis, the Louis Schaffer show, and there will be ads. Yes, just to torture the people here. Liking women is surely a bit feminist. I don't even know what feminism means. It's part of, I'm against feminism. I'm in favor of women, but I'm against the idea. You know me. We've discussed this before. We don't rely on council houses because the council would not give housing for the likes of you. Yes, you found that out. Kerry saw that. Yes, it's rude. It's really rude. I shouldn't be his friend. Is that what you're saying, Kerry? I mean, maybe I shouldn't be. It was unnecessary. It was on our stream. And then he calls you people cultists, weird cultists, for listening to this. That's a bit too much. Maybe you are weird cultists. Got distracted. Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, well, I mean, really. Anyway, so I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you, Darklands. Thank you, Lud and Lucy, of course, and Joodles and Claire and Nonstick Nick for coming back. Thank you, Nonstick Nick, for coming back. Thank you, Leanne and Keith Miller, for coming back. I mean, we lose people and then people come back. We've basically had a level of consistency which surprises me. D.D. Plectrums came back. Well, you haven't really left, but you're here. The Jedster, who's been a big fan of Louis Schaffer. Shanks, who you may know from My Opinion at Google, at the Twitter, My Opinion. Thank you. Hi-Ho Kermit has been a big help. Warmelian, Mark the Rosian, Alan Williams. These are guys. Ladies. Let's contact these guys and see if they've got a girlfriend. See if they want a hug. Give them a hug. Blackadder is 20 years old. He gets a round of applause for someone who's 20 years old. It makes my day. MC Scott. What happened? You're not listed as medical cannabis here. But thank you very much. We took that test together. I'm not going to say what test, but I was 17% only, so I could enjoy you 17%. Lorna, brilliant Lorna. So this is great. We've had a lot of the people. Most of the people. Donna Aylesbury have stayed. Totally fantastic. Totally FM Ghost. He's also 20 years old. How brilliant is that? Mark J, who's a big supporter. Lud, a big supporter of this stream. ICU, who is a woman. Beautiful. Dullan, who's a big supporter of the stream. If I've missed anybody out who's been a big supporter of or even a minor supporter, tell us at the end of the show. So, let's see what I said. Joodles, what did I say? I had no idea that Shanks was My Opinion. I didn't know that either until today. And he's been a tremendous supporter of the stream, making stuff when we were on Headliners. I hope someday we'll be on Headliners. Okay, she says no when I have the time, so I'll be all right. As soon as I do this, I'll send this to her. I mean, isn't that amazing? He was a big supporter because eventually we're going to know everybody here, and they're all going to be amazing. They're all going to be. Lewis, you nearly always miss me off, but I live. I do not. Joe, thank you, Joe, but I don't never stop thinking about you. Send me a picture. Half closed. Please try and get Cressida on. Yes, I'm going to get Cressida on. She's going to come on. I love Cressida, or like Cressida. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that I love her, but I like her. I'm here all the time, even though I feel put out. Well, that means you're doing something, which I appreciate, Vatanai. Vatanai is here all the time, and he's Votan on Twitter. So that's like amazing. Don't say that, Kerry. Don't say that, Kerry. I think she is. And I don't generally say that about people. And I don't generally say that about women because I'm a horrible human being. But Cressida is. She is funny. Okay. Cressida will keep you in check. Yes, she will. She's sensible. And I like that in a woman. She is more than sensible. She's a bit scary. She's like Lucy. She's like Rose. She's very like that. Well, I find her attractive, says MC Scott. I don't mind. No, she is, but she is funny. She is funny. Vote Labor. I think Cressida is funny. Oh my. I don't know. Well, Vote Labor is here. We're just about to end the show, Vote Labor, because will there be a show? Oh, that's the thing. Will there be a show at 11? Yes, I hope, I can't guarantee it, but there'll be a show at 11. So make sure you check Twitter at about 10 minutes to 11, and make sure you check your YouTube thing. Yeah. Cressida is quite funny when doing stand-up. Yes, really funny. And that's the hardest thing to be. Remember, when you're on TV, it's really hard. So We love Cressida. I love Cressida. You missed the whole show. Come back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, 5 p.m., sorry. That's how she gets away with it, because she's very pretty. Is there a little resentment for, where's Nick Dixon? I haven't asked him. He's not going to come down, Nick Dixon. He's not going to come down. We're all going to get together. We'll all be back. Louis Schaffer will be back. I'll be back in the high life again. Okay, I'm going to wave goodbye. I'm going to keep this thing going. She doesn't get away with it because she's pretty. She gets away with it because she's got a pretty smile. Vote reform, says Alan Williams. Stephen Allen, yeah, maybe. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to somebody on a Zoom feed or whatever it is, split screen. I don't want that. But I love Stephen Allen too. Very few people I don't like or don't think, but there are a few that I don't. You know which ones I don't like. I'm asking Rose to come on the show. She doesn't. Mark Dolan, he was on Talk TV the other night. I like Mark Dolan. I think he's great. I actually like him. I've known him longer than anyone here. Anyone, like over 20 years. So the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Okay, well, we'll see you later. You know what Vote Labor can do? You can go over and press the thumbs up thing. That would make oh my God, we only need one more thumbs up. So please press the thumbs up, and then we'll be at 40. And that's almost like a record for thumbs up. The thumbs up. Tonight, let's not discuss we'll discuss the war tomorrow. Go to Discord. I have trouble leaving this thing. This is why I have trouble leaving. Okay, I'm saying goodbye. I'm going to keep this on for a minute. For 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay? And then I'm going to, whatever it is, end stream. Blow kisses. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you very much.